Good morning. You know, when you get to thinking about the people of Israel back in the day, that they'd lived in slavery, didn't have a home, and it was time to be set free. I know a lot of us, we live by faith, and we believe that there is a point that we reach where our faith and our hope come together and collide, that a transition takes place, and what we have been believing for then moves into our life. Or possibly something moves out of our life, and a miracle takes place. And all that troubled and trialed times of wondering if you was crazy and hoping and believing for something that you didn't know if you was just pretending or making it up yourself. You don't even know how to tell what faith is and what's fake and what's real. You go through the assaults of wondering how your heart is postured. I love knowing that the Lord is with me. I love knowing that the Lord is with me, because I didn't always know that. Because for a long time, He sure didn't act like it. I mean, He wasn't giving me nothing. Nothing. I had to beat my own self up because He wasn't talking. So I was doing it for Him. I did a good job. Beat the crap out of myself, Ty. I was useless and worthless. Low man on the totem pole. Couldn't amount to nothing. I'm going to read a little piece out of Joshua, starting in the very first chapter. It's transition time in time of Israel. But this isn't really about Israel. This is about an individual. And right out the gate, the Word says that after the death of Moses, who was the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spoke to Joshua, Moses' assistant, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now, therefore, I want you to arise and go over this Jordan River, you and all these people, to the land which I am giving to them, the children of Israel. And every place that the sole of your foot will touch, I've given it to you, as I said to Moses. All the way from the wilderness, Lebanon, as far as the great river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and the great sea towards the going down of the sun, all of that territory, it's yours. Verse 5, and no man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. Wow. Because as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. Joshua, I will not leave you, and I won't forsake you. So, son, be strong. Be of good courage. For the people, you're going to divide this inheritance of land to them, which I swore to their fathers. Verse 7, only be strong and be courageous. And he just keeps telling him and trying to reassure him. That you may observe to do according to all the law which Moses, my servant, commanded you. Do not turn from it. Don't turn to the right hand. Don't turn from the left. Stay straight. That you may prosper wherever you go. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate in it every day and every night. Day and night. It's on your mind all of the time. Meditate that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it. Get it in you. For then you will make your way prosperous. Notice it did not say that God said that I will make your way prosperous if you do that. He said you, in doing that, will make your way prosperous. And then you will have good success. Have I not commanded you? Here he hits him again. Be strong and of good courage. Don't be afraid. Don't be dismayed. Why? How can he say that? Because the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Boy, he's really having to encourage him. And I asked myself, why does he have to be so encouraged? Why is the Lord constantly having to keep encouraging this man over and over again like a broken record? See, they was coming out. These people didn't have anything. They didn't own any land. All they had was what few possessions they had when they were coming out of Egypt, and they're trapped in the wilderness forever. That's all they had. See, owning land is a big deal. Because if I own it, you can't evict me. It's mine. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. Stay off of it. It's mine. And when you know it's yours, you know you're not uncomfortable when you know it's yours. There's a sort of a settling that comes into your spirit because it's yours. It's mine. It's my land. And I grew up understanding that. And I believe that. And I appreciate that. And let me tell you why. They print money every day. They got them printers going all of the time. Money presses running day and night. There's a lot of money out there. Now, we may not have a lot of it, but there's a lot of it out there. And the value of that dollar fluctuates mostly down. Down 8 steps and up a half and then down 20 more. That's the way it steps. Money's going all of the time. But they ain't making no more land. There won't be no more land. All there is what there is. Can't print no more of that. Land is important. And God's saying to the children of Israel that I have given you this land to go and possess it. Possess. Possess. But you also got to realize that back in the Bible day, land was really important because they didn't have paper money. They didn't just print money off back then like we do today. They mostly had to trade for stuff. It's called bartering. They had to trade. A lot of trading going on. One guy raises pigs, another guy raises a crop, and they swap, instead of you having to do a little bit of everything. If you specialized in one area, everybody specialized in their own areas, and you kind of worked the system, and you learn where to get what you need and who specializes in what. And so you traded, you bartered. And it was usually going to be with things that either grew on the land or animals that were on the land. That's usually what you bartered with, was something to do with your land. It either came out of the land or it grazed on the land. You see what I'm saying? See, if it didn't come out of the land and it didn't graze on the land, then you didn't have anything to barter with or to trade with. I mean, what do you got? So no matter how many seeds you had, if you had no soil, then all them seeds are of no use to you. What good is seed without the soil? See, because seed will never reach its fullest potential without soil. No matter how much of it you have. What good is it to have sheep if you have no place to graze? Some of us have seed, but ain't got no soil. Some of us are sheep, but we have no place to graze. And eventually, I don't care how strong the sheep is, I don't care how smart the sheep is, or how big the sheep is. If there is no grazing place, then it will become a dying place. Land is important. I know I wouldn't want to be homeless. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are homeless physically. There's some people out there that are homeless spiritually. There's a lot of people that are homeless emotionally. So, well, Jeremy, what are you getting into? What? Well, like spiritual homelessness. So you know what that means? That means that you don't know who you are. You don't know what you believe. You don't know where you stand. And anything that anybody says that sounds good to you, you just kind of gravitate that way, whether it's true or not, because you're spiritually homeless. Now, like if you're emotionally homeless, it's different. Emotionally homeless is when you have all kinds of love to give and nowhere to give it. Anyway, these people were homeless. They had spent 430 years in Egypt. And they had spent the last 40 years in the wilderness. 430 years in Egypt, and 400 of them they were in bondage. For 400 years they were in bondage. Slaves. Not the full 430, because the first 30 years they were welcome. They were welcomed in there. Until a Pharaoh or a king grew up that knew not who Joseph was and enslaved the people. See, you started out as a guest and ended up a slave. Can you imagine? It was a slavery that lasted for 10 generations. And the only taste of freedom they had was when they would come together and sit around the campfires in the evening time after their long day of slave labor, and would try to imagine what it was like to be free. Trying to imagine what it was like to have a home. Trying to hold on to whatever memories that their parents and grandparents had passed down from their parents and their grandparents of what a home was like, because they didn't know. And then God sends Moses down to Egypt and commands Moses to tell Pharaoh to let my people go. Let them go. And now they're on the road to freedom. Pharaoh's gone, and they're free. But they have spent 40 years trying to be all the way free. They weren't all the way free. They was free, but they wasn't all the way free. See, because the one that brought them out, the one who performed all these miracles that they make movies about to this day, the one who healed them and fed them and nurtured them and guided them and delivered them out of the hands of Pharaoh, he died. He died. I mean, what do you do when the person you were depending on dies on you. And dies short of finishing the mission. I mean, really, I want you to feel the stress and the anxiety and the fear that has come on to the people in the midst of uncertainty now. They're scared. They're alone. They're in the wilderness. They have nothing. Moses has died. He died. How is that even possible? This changes everything. Nothing is ever going to be the same. And the whole nation is freaking out, and they're crying, and they're panicking. Our leader is dead. He's dead, and we're not quite there. We're so close, but we're not there, and he's gone. What are we going to do? Who in the world is going to take us over and take us the rest of the way? Who can do miracles like Moses? Well, I would like to nominate Brother Joshua. Who's Joshua? I mean, like, what? Who? Joshua? Are you serious? No. Joshua is only good under Moses. He's all right as an assistant. I mean, he's all right. I mean, we accept him and all as associate Joshua. All right, well, Joshua, can you do magic? Huh? Throw your rod down and make it turn into a snake, Joshua. Come on, throw it down. Can you do it? Can you do it? He throws his stick down and has to bend over and pick it back up. Didn't turn into nothing. Nothing. Well, come on, what about the rock? Can you make water come out of the rock? Come on, smack the rock. We're thirsty. I need something to drink. Smack the rock, Joshua. Let's see. Come on. Sorry, guys. You're going to have to go down to the river. I can't do it. You know, Moses is a tough act to follow. Moses lifted up and had built this snake statue thing because there was a lot of snakes and people were getting bit and people are sick, and he raises up this snake statue on his staff or something, I don't remember, and everybody looked at it, got healed. Can you heal us, Joshua? Huh? Can you raise something up and we look at it and get healed? No, guys, I'm sorry. I suggest you go see the doctor because I can't do it. I mean, really, what do you do when you don't measure up to the one you're being compared to? What do you do? What do you do when you cannot measure up to the one that everybody's comparing you to? It is hard to measure up to another man's miracles. And God says to Joshua, He said, "Son, as I was with Moses, so shall I be with you." But God, my staff, it doesn't turn into nothing when I throw it down. It doesn't change into anything, and I can't get any water to come out of the rock. And people are irritated at the fact that they got to go down and get their water now because I can't do nothing. Why won't you do this for me? You did it for him. Joshua, I didn't say I was going to do through you what I did through Moses. But what I did say is that I would be with you as I was with Moses. I did not call you to be a copy of a great original. You can't imitate Moses. There will never be another Moses. There are prophets that I have spoken to through dreams and visions, but Moses, I talked to him face to face. I'm not going to be meeting you up on the mountain either, Joshua. I'm not going to be setting any mountains on fire. I'm not going to be giving you any tablets of commandments or using you to part the sea, or to bring plagues, or pillars of fire at night, or any manna is going to fall on your behalf. But I will be with you as I was with Moses. The only thing I promise you is that I will be with you. Your gifts, your talents, your resources, as I was with Moses, I will be with you. See, until you develop an appreciation for being you, you will never discover what God can do in you if you're still trying to be somebody else. Yeah. Now, Joshua wasn't no wimp, all right? He was a bad dude. He was a fighter. He fought all through the wilderness. He was Moses' right-hand man. And now Joshua is the leader. And he can't do the things that Moses did. But God is using Joshua's personal abilities to continue on as a leader. And Joshua was known as a fighter. I mean, he almost fought God. Ran up on the angel of the Lord one day, pulled his sword. So, who are you? I'll bust you up, boy. Are you with us or against us? He was a fighter, and yet when God promotes him, God continuously has to reassure Joshua. Be strong and be very courageous. Joshua, be strong. Be courageous. Be strong and be of good courage. Have courage. I'm with you. I know there's not all these outside miracles for everybody to see, but I'm with you. Because God knows that for what you're going to do, it's not going to be by your outer strength. It will be by inner strength. You have to have inner strength for this fight, Joshua. It is not our outer strength. It's not your outer strength. It is not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord. So you have to have that inner strength that can take that licking and just keep right on a ticking. The crawling through the ditches, the wading through the storms, the sewers, and all of the booby traps that are going to be getting set for you, because not everybody's going to like you. There's going to be people out there that's going to want your job, and they're going to be setting up booby traps everywhere for you to slip up on. But be strong. You're going to have some strength to deal with some pains and some things that people don't even know that you're dealing with. See, Joshua, as the number 2 guy, he was used for a lot of outer strength. But as a leader, you're going to have some inner strength. You're going to have to defy him, and you're going to have to overcome your inner insecurities. That you're not as good as Moses. You're going to have to overcome that. You have to overcome the fact that the people you are leading, they are not going to react to you the same way they did Moses. You're going to be having disagreements with them, and they're not going to be treating you properly. You're going to be disagreeing with people that you're trying to lead, and they're going to be disagreeing with you. Disagreements with the people you're fighting, disagreements with the person inside of your own self, and that'll be half your fight. So you're going to have to be strong. You're going to have to be able to resist your own fear. You're going to have to be able to resist their doubt. Not only your doubts, you're going to have to resist the doubt of all of the people. Be strong. You're going to have to resist all their murmuring, all their talking, all their prophesying over you of what you are not and who you ain't and what you can't do is what they're going to be seeing. Be strong. Be strong when the voices rise up in you and say that you're not good enough. Be strong. When the people tell you that you can't do what Moses did, be strong. And when the Amorites tell you that you can't have the land that I told you is yours, be strong. Be strong. And I know you're scared. And I know this journey has been full of pain and suffering. But remember that the promise is in your pain. The promise is in your discomfort. The promise is in your ability to strengthen yourself and press forward. Don't give up. Joshua, be strong. So here's what the Lord is saying today. I did not say it would be easy. I told you I would be with you. I told you that no man would be able to withstand you all the days of your life. I told you that everywhere your foot touches, I'm going to give that land to you. I told you that nobody would be able to withstand you. I told you that I would bless you. I told you that as I was with Moses, so shall I be with you. But I did not tell you that it would be easy. If you have any fight left at all, you should release it in this hour. And make up in your mind that you are going to stop feeling sorry for yourself. Meditate on that word day and night. You're going to stop crying. And you're going to break out of that cloud of depression. And you're going to stop being discouraged. And stop accessing those doors of worry. And whatever it takes to do it, you have to do what God told you to do. This isn't the time to faint in the day of your adversity. God didn't say that it would be easy. But what He did say is that He will be with you.